Okay, so I have Marci here today. Marci, say hi.
Hey.
So thank you so much for being willing to do this coaching session. You want to just recap for our audience, what is the one challenge that you're facing right now that you would like clarity on?
Most of all, it's just launching. Like, I'm not really sure what to say, how to approach my warm market, how to approach folks that would call acquaintances, not so much friends. And just really, I'm just having a really hard time launching. I'm probably 90 days in,
Okay.
and have maybe 7 folks under me, and they're basically all just um, customers that have signed up.
Cool. Awesome. I love it. Well, for what it's worth, I only have 6 customers under me when I was testing outlines when I first started my training company. So you're beating me. Okay. So you had mentioned we were talking about like a little bit about comfort zone and such. So can I just get a quick temperature check on where do you want your business to go? Like, where do you desire to see it? If you weren't afraid, if you knew what to do, what would you want?
I would like to be I would like to be signing up 20 a month. I would like to be within our company's area.
Okay.
Really pushing to regional because that's where we get the free healthcare.
Okay. So we want healthcare. We want to, you want those perks for your family, healthcare, car, income. Okay, cool. So what we need to focus on today is how do I approach people I know and how do I approach people I don't know? And really just in general, where do I start?
Yes.
Does that sound good? Okay,
I
so.
I've had a really strong launch, and I feel like most of it is me not stepping out of my comfort zone. But then at the same time, I feel like if I really knew what it was that I should be saying or how to approach people, then my comfort zone wouldn't really, it wouldn't be that's
Perfect. So can I give you my thoughts on the comfort zone?
absolutely
How it works? Okay, so a lot of people will say, here's your comfort zone, and magic happens over here in this corner, right? Like far away from the comfort zone. And I was like, okay, is that true? And so a lot of people think they have to make this drastic jump, right? Like miles and miles away to the comfort zone. If they don't, it's not successful. But then they feel like they aren't being genuine or authentic or whatnot. And so there's this major cognitive dissonance in our mind on what does that mean. And what I think how it works is that you expand your comfort zone. You don't jump out of it. So when I coach people, I don't coach them out of their comfort zone. I coach them inside their comfort zone. So it kind of stretches.
Oh, amen. Like that's it right there.
Okay. So my goal today is to find you one type of person that you can reach out to, right? And you tell me who that is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find you an outline that will sit inside your comfort zone. Because the best way to hit a goal is to take a goal that's outside the comfort zone and break it down to steps that are inside your comfort zone.
Right.
Okay. So if we have a goal, 20 people a month, well, that is huge, right? That's super outside the comfort zone. But really, for our clients, and I know you haven't taken any of our stuff yet, which is why this is fun, that would be having 30 people show up for an appointment, which would probably mean inviting 150 people. Well, once you know how to invite one person, then you invite 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 4 person until we get to that number. Now, as I'm saying that, you're freaking out because you're thinking, I don't know that many people. So I'm going to address that first, and then we're going to go into one approach that's going to help you to move forward. Okay? How does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay, because you cannot sign up 20 people a month off just people you know. Nobody knows that many people.
Right.
So if you want to run a successful network marketing business, you have to do what's called diversifying your leads. So people that are just casually sharing, they're trying to make $200, $300, $400 a month, they're going to really just make sales to people they know through word of mouth and through their enthusiasm. Maybe they'll be like, look at this amazing result I got. Do you want to get it too? Doesn't take a lot of skill. Doesn't take a lot of focus. It happens naturally, right? And those people make $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever. But if you want to run an actual business where you're making $3 or $4 or $5,000 a month, no business can operate solely on people they know. And what happens is when we take our whole income goals and we put it on the backs of the people we know, it gets weird real fast. Would you agree with that?
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, Marci, there are 6 ways that network marketers can generate leads. So I'm going to give them to you. Okay, ready? Number 1 is people I know. Number 2 is going to be referrals or people hosting socials for you on your behalf. Number 3 is going to be social media, which sometimes just points to people you know, depending on your strategy.
Yeah.
So there's personal page strategy and then there's business page strategy. They're different. You have networking groups or speaking events. So if you know stuff about stuff, that expands your influence. And that's a way you connect with people and expand your influence. You have like booths, vendor events. And then you have partnerships with professionals, right? With your product line, chiropractors, massage therapists, so on and so forth. That's
right.
So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is, in addition to your friends and family, I want you to pick 2 that over the next 3 to 6 months that you are going to choose as your additional ways that you're going to get contacts.
First, I'd like to start with partnerships with businesses, chiropractors and such.
Okay.
And I'd really like to use media.
Say that one again. It cut out a bit.
Yeah. Social media.
Okay. Great. Okay. Now, do you feel less pressure on your friends and family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, that being said, why do you think it's important? Why do most successful network marketers or business owners in general, right? So when I started my coaching practice, which is not network marketing, I started with people I knew. If you open a restaurant, you start with people you know. Why is it that most successful business do start off with people they know, whether it's network marketing or not?
Typically because we feel comfortable there and we know that we can get their ear.
And if you mess up a bit, right, they're going to be more forgiving.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that with people you know? That it's more comfortable?
Well, and like when I present it to the people I know, I do really feel like a hero. But then, there's that awkwardness of the people that you don't know. And so, it's just kind of funky.
Are you talking about acquaintances?
Yes.
Okay, so which type of person would you like me to help you reach out to? What would be the most helpful?
Acquaintances.
And can you give me an example?
Kids or parents of the kids that are in my kids, social activities, or because we're not, we don't necessarily run in the same circle, but we see each other here and there, know of one another, but don't necessarily know one another.
Okay. Do you want to invite them to a one-on-one appointment, or do you want to invite them to a social?
Probably a social.
Okay. So have you ever had a birthday party for one of your kids?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So how would you go about inviting a kid to your kid's birthday party if you barely know their parents?
Send an invitation.
What would the invitation say?
You're invited to Kaysen's birthday party.
Okay. And then what other details would be on there?
Date, time, location.
maybe what they need to bring, if it's like a pool
Right.
party or.
Sure.
Okay. So do you think we could use a similar format for these particular people?
Probably.
Okay. Now, there's one really important thing that most people miss when it comes to inviting people. And it's a technique that I'll call acknowledge the awkward. So it's awkward, right? Like, hi, person I
Right.
don't know. This is awkward. But there's also a reason that you want to invite them. What's the reason you want to invite them?
Because I know that the products, whether it be the product itself or the business opportunity, there's a potential to make a difference in life.
And what's the part that's awkward about it?
I think just like the first look of, why are you talking to me?
Okay. And then what are you going to cover? What's the agenda for the social?
To cover the products, the company, the products, and then the business opportunity.
How long will it take?
Roughly 45 minutes, an hour.
Do they have to buy anything?
No,
You're not gonna hold a gun to their head and tell them that?
no, not the first.
Okay. Is it weird that you go up to them because you don't talk to them a lot?
Yes.
Do you care that people are included?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you tell me if this sounds like you. Ready? Just
Okay.
receive it as a person. Hey, Marci, I know I don't talk to you a lot, but I don't want you to feel left out. This Saturday, I'm hosting a little social at my house to go over how blank product works. And I know these products can make a really huge difference in people's health and their family's health and their kids' health. And all we're going to do is we're going to go over your health goals, the products, a little about the company. It would take about 45 to 60 minutes. You don't have to get anything, but if you see something you like, I'll help you order it, of course. Is that something that you would be open to?
Wow.
Do you think that you would be able to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
why?
Because it doesn't feel threatening, or not threatening is not the word, but it doesn't feel like salesy or pushy, or it's an invitation. It's not a, hey, I want you to come buy something. It's, hey, I want to share something with you that could potentially change your life.
Mm-hmm. And are all of those things, if you noticed, are values that you have.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't talk to you a lot. I'm kind of shy. So we just acknowledge it. So it's basically all invitations, Marci, follow a 5-step process. And you can jot these down. And you can go back and watch the video to write down the exact verbiage. Number 1 is acknowledge the awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier just acknowledge it than to operate without it, because the person you're speaking to will actually defend you, as opposed to be thinking it's so awkward. So if you just go up to them and go straight to jumping to invite them, then they'll be like, this is so awkward. You never talk to me. But if you just say, hi, I know I don't ever talk to you. I'm super shy, but I'm doing this thing and I don't want you to miss out. Like, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
So the first step is acknowledge the awkward. The second is like, give them a reason, like why are you inviting them? Sometimes with people, it's as simple as, I'm trying to do practice appointments because I'm starting my business and I'm trying to find someone I'm comfortable with in case I make mistakes. Like, just an honest to God,
Yeah.
why, right? I'm having a social regarding this particular product because it's really helped my family. I think it will help a lot of other people's family. And so I'm hosting a get together and I'm inviting all the people that I know or kind of know. So it's the second. First is acknowledge the awkward. Second is give them a reason. The third is give them the agenda so they don't feel like they are going to be tricked into something.
Okay.
So I would loop business opportunity into the company. I think the term business opportunity is a weird phrase, which I won't get into so much on this particular coaching call. I think it's not a term that any normal person uses.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like jargon. So I don't like to use it when we're in this particular thing, but we'll go over your health goals. We want to make sure they know it's about them. Then we'll go over how the products work and a little bit about the company. And if you, at that point during that appointment, you can say, hey, some people like to know about how just the money part works out of curiosity because I decided to do this as a business. Would you guys like me to take 5 minutes and go over that? You just re-ask for permission so that they don't feel like there's been a switcheroo. But I would just kind of include it in the company, like it's part of the company part.
Okay.
So the third is the agenda. So acknowledge the awkward, give them a reason, an agenda. And then the fourth is remove pressure. So you don't have to get anything, but if you see something you like, of course, I'll help you order it. So we're giving them the power. And we're explaining, okay, I'm not going to pressure you. I don't like to use the word pressure. Like, there's no pressure to buy anything. Like, that's an inflammatory word. So you don't have to get anything, but if you see something you like, I'll help you order it. Not I'll sell it to you, not you can buy something. It's I'll help you order it. So when you think about that phrase, who has the power?
They do.
They do. Right. So they're going to be more comfortable. And then we're going to ask for consent. Something like, so the fifth step is consent or invitation or temperature check. There's a bunch of different things to call it. Honestly, Marci, I don't even know what these 5 steps are called in the course anymore. I mean, I rewrote it like a year and a half ago. So this is the general, like they might be just called different terms. But we just say, is that something you're open to? Or would that be helpful? Or would you like to join us? It's just the actual question.
Right.
And our job is to offer. Their job is to decide.
Okay.
So, but we want to offer with skill, right? With them in mind. And so when you use this format and the structure, you can craft any type of invitation if you follow these 5 steps, whether it's to a business overview, whether it's to a convention, right? Whether it's to whatever, we just use these 5 steps and we jot it down and we say, okay, what's the awkward? What's the reason? What's the agenda? Let me remove some pressure and then ask them, a question, check their temperature. And then you don't have to feel like you are intruding.
Right.
And then they still feel invited, because the hardest part is if you don't invite them, then they might miss out on all these great opportunities. But if you do it with just like vomiting on them, then they miss out on those opportunities because they think you're weird. So this should help. How does this feel to you?
I like this a lot. Would you use this same format for, say, a one-on-one, just kind of change the verbiage?
Mm-hmm. So the agenda is the one-on-one verbiage, and that's something we cover actually in our coaching program, is how to do this with all the different types of appointments we do. But yes, it's gain in, like you give an agenda, gain input, company info, features and benefits, and then, you know, give them an invitation to join. So yeah, it's the similar format for the one-on-one. So how does that feel, Marci? Did you survive?
I like
Okay. So Marci, what do you think is your biggest takeaway from this little coaching session we did?
probably when you said address the awkward, that's for me, because it takes away, I think the biggest part of the problem for me is like getting past or being brave enough to go and say something to somebody that I'm not super familiar with. So when you address the awkwardness of, yeah, hey, don't talk, but hey, I want to invite you to something, but I'm left out. It's almost like it builds a friendship. And so all of that is gone because everyone wants to feel included.
All right, boom, fist bump. All right, cool. So I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much. Say bye to everyone.
Yes. Bye, guys.